It's another night of basketball in the Commonwealth. Kentucky earned a harder than expected opening day win on Monday. Tonight, they'll look to take another step forward with the CAA's Monmouth in town. And we say welcome to historic Memorial Coliseum alongside Christy Thomas. I'm Noah Frary, and the Kentucky Wildcats got an opening day win on Monday and 30 points from their triplets. Christy, was a good performance, but they need them to be great if they want to accomplish their ultimate goals this year.
That's exactly what Kenny Brooks is asking from those three. They accounted for 47% of the scoring last season and 70% of the rebounding last season. Two of the three were right around their season averages on Monday night's game, but Kenny Brooks wants more. He's asking for more because they can also be a huge presence on the defensive end with 9 blocks between them, but they're going to set the tone for this team on both sides of the ball. As these three go, so will the team.
Now Monmouth, on the other hand, replacing a lot of production from a season ago, but they got an opening day boost from one Alexis Davis.
Coming off a double-double, 20 points, 14 rebounds, the transfer from Buffalo, despite being new to the program, is absolutely making her mark. She was voted as captain by her teammates, which tells you everything you need to know. She's vocal, she's had an immediate impact for this team, and she calls herself a dog.
And we are ready for basketball here inside historic Memorial Coliseum. Alexis Davis, the Buffalo transfer, is ready. She will jump against Tiani Key of the Kentucky Wildcats. And for the second game in a row, it is Kentucky who takes the opening tip here tonight. Toni Morgan got her feet wet as the point guard of this team on Monday. Here's Amelia Hassett for 3. A foul underneath, caused by Jordan Obi. Kentucky will have a second chance coming here.
Right out of the gate, gonna try to crash the boards just like they did on Monday night. Really, really good on the offensive glass was Kentucky, so Jordan Obi in her debut here for the Wildcats on Monday was really solid.
And Clara Strack gets going earlier, 15 points, 15 rebounds in Monday's home opener.
Well, look for Kentucky's offense to really try to set tempo and pace. They have to be better there. That's something Kenny Brooks talked about, is being better with pace and tempo.
Alexis Davis leading the charge with 20 and 14 in the opener for Monmouth. A bit undersized against this Kentucky team, this starting lineup is for the Hawks. There's Fatumatu Jallo, the Ole Miss transfer, skips in and out on her first shot. Jordan Obi back in the lineup for Kentucky after a breakout performance in her first game in 598 days on Monday night. 15 points, 15 rebounds. As Toni Morgan's 3 comes up long, but another offensive rebound, and Kentucky will keep the basketball.
And already we're seeing Kentucky with better effort. That's exactly what Kenny Brooks was talking about. He didn't like it. He said, listen, at shoot-around today, he said, we're not checking temperature today. We're going right in from the start. Let's get after it.
That was his biggest concern after Monday's win against Morehead State, a 16-point victory. Good movement here, but Obi and Key not on the same page. Tiani Key has looked a little bit out of sorts early on this season, was just 1 for 7 from the field in the home opener on Monday evening. Gigi Gamble, the JUCO transfer, hard to the cup, second chance coming here. DeBulla could not take advantage, but a foul will go against Tiani Key. It'll be her first.
Well, this is something we heard Kate Wetmore talk about at the Monmouth shoot-around today, was how physical this was going to be. She said, listen, this is different. We're walking into an SEC environment with SEC officials who are going to let this game be physical. We've got to be able to rise to that challenge and be physical right along with them. You're going to get bumped, everybody's going to get pushed, everybody's going to get shoved, everybody's going to get roughed up.
DeBulla hitting the first free throw. It has been over a decade since Monmouth last faced a school out of the Southeastern Conference. Kentucky looking inside for Tiani Key, and she'll get an easy one off the glass. They weren't as easy on opening night for her as you expect.
Well, and that's exactly what offensive efficiency looks like right there. Tiani Key came down, took a place on the block, really sealed her defender, and great job by Toni Morgan getting her the ball and seeing it and recognizing it quickly.
Good ball movement here and inside for Alexis Davis. Blocked by Jordan Obi. Kentucky outrunning. Hassett, a 3, too strong. Tiani Key tracks down the third O board of the game for Kentucky as Obi misfires. Hassett with a fourth, and an easy two.
We're already seeing Amelia Hassett be a little more aggressive than what we saw on Monday night, so I think that was really an eye-opener for this team. That's exactly what Kentucky needed to see, playing someone else, a team they didn't match up with very well.
After the turnover, ahead for Morgan, blocked from behind by Jallo. A missed opportunity for the Cats.
That's why you get back, that's why you hustle.
Gigi Gamble looking to take advantage. A miss on the three, a battle for the basketball, and Kentucky will have it.
Well, this will be interesting for Alexis Davis right there. As you see her, we talked about her having an impact right away. She's also very physical, doesn't shy away from anything. That's something her coach talked about earlier, that, you know, she's a player that will absolutely get after it. So we'll see how she handles Kentucky being physical.
A foul on the entry pass. That'll be on Gamble, her first. Gamble, a new point guard for Kate Wetmore in the midst of her second season at the helm of this Monmouth team. Youngest coach in the CAA. They were picked to finish 10th last year. They overachieve and finish 5th, and she likes her chances to compete in this league once again this season.
She's like an awful lot of other teams out there that have all these new players that you're bringing together and really trying to figure an awful lot out. Wanted some variety in her schedule, which is how Kentucky, amongst other reasons, lands on the schedule for them. But she loves coming off a Division II win, playing a Division I opponent at such a high level.
She said you get some variety and a chance to build confidence here early on in the season. Jordan Obi, we saw finish the two a moment ago with plenty of confidence early this year. Here's Davis for three, off iron. Hassett has been all over the glass early in this game, already her third rebound, and a foul for a Monmouth team that wanted to be physical tonight.
Amelia Hassett is the type of player that last season came in known as a shooter. That's what everybody thought they were getting with her. When I say everybody, Kenny Brooks knew there was more there. But I think from the fan base perspective, you thought, well, she's a shooter. She's a spot-up three-point shooter, and she showed that she is so much more than that. So her being such a great shot blocker and rebounder was invaluable for this team last year. They'll need that to go next level this year.
A miscue there from Tony Morgan. The new Kentucky point guard, Georgia Amore. The point guard a year ago for Kentucky, drafted 6th overall by the Washington Mystics in the WNBA draft. And now a turnover here for Monmouth, giving it right back. Some good news I heard the other day. Georgia Amore was cleared to return to action, not full contact, but good to see her recovery, Chrissy, from ACL surgery.
Yes, absolutely. She never suffered a significant injury. I'd asked Kenny Brooks about that. He said, no, this was it. So, you know, just glad she's able to get back. Can't wait to see her on the court again.
Strack triggered the three, could not hit. A chance for the Hawks to run. Kersaint inside, dumped off for Davis. And a jump ball there. Possession arrow, though, will keep it with Monmouth. Kenny Brooks, in his second season at the helm of this program, guided the Cats to 23 wins in his first year. A host opportunity in the NCAA tournament, but as he said at Big Blue Madness, there are bigger goals for this team. A national championship is something that they're putting out into the universe.
Well, and you think about 23 winning seasons in 24 seasons is incredible.
Not bad.
Out of 24 years coaching, you've only had one season that wasn't a winning season. I mean, that's a Hall of Fame career that we're working on right here.
That one season all the way back in 2003, 2004 season. All Kenny Brooks has done in his tenure at James Madison as the head coach, then Virginia Tech, and now recently here at Kentucky is win. Asia Boone into the game for the first time for the Cats, drives into the paint, teardrop, batted back out, but right into the hands of the Monmouth Hawks. Andrews, though, loses it on the other end. Quite a few early turnovers for the Hawks.
That length really affecting Monmouth. Even when they're not trying to shoot, just trying to get the ball down into the block. Anywhere in the paint, it's going to be tough.
Jordan Obi had a great return to play on opening night, 15 and 15, and she's got 4 here in the early going.
That's just a great move there by Jordan Obi, showing you exactly what's in her repertoire. She can do a lot of different things, creating.
Monmouth 0 for their last 7 from the field. Another turnover here. Asia Boone running the break. Hassett could not get a shot off. Now Morgan drives off the glass. It skips off. The rebound and the putback finish for KK Carroll. And that will take us to our first break. The Kentucky Wildcats off to a great start, a 10-0 run over the last 4 minutes, has them up by 11. If you're wondering how a team from West Long Branch, New Jersey ended up in Lexington tonight, well, the answer is simple. It all started in Charlotte. The connection between these two programs on the left-hand side of your screen, you can see Kate Wetmore, current head coach for Monmouth, Sierra Gregory, an assistant coach on the current Kentucky Wildcats, and one Deja Lawrence, who starred alongside Georgia Amore, those three winning the Conference USA Championship in 2022 to go to the NCAA tournament, and it was that connection that ultimately led to this game coming together here in 2025.
Well, it's so fun to think about, those coaching trees and those connections run deep in the NCAA. So, what a great opportunity for Monmouth to be able to come here and play and challenge themselves and really figure some things out, be able to hug old friends and make some new friends. And Deja Lawrence, I told you this earlier today, I'm just so sad we only got to see her play one season here at Kentucky, because that young lady has the it factor. She's somebody that I said no matter what she decides to do in life, she's going to be successful, just because of, I know that from watching her play and the kind of player that she was, but she brought an awful lot to Kenny Brooks' first season here at Kentucky.
Deja Lawrence beginning her pro career over in Kosovo this year. She was around the building throughout the summer training for that opportunity and has gotten off to a great start, but a fun connection here.
Yes.
For this second game of the 25-26 season. Kentucky right now leading by 11 on a 10-0 run over the last 4 minutes of action.
Well, I think that's what I like about Kenny Brooks, too, is that he was willing to honor those connections, right? I mean, it wasn't his connection to Kate Wetmore. It was Sierra's connection. It was one of his assistant coaches' connection to her. So I think that's great that he's really willing to, he says we're a family. We're all in this together. So he's really willing to, honor those connections, and I think it's fabulous.
Monmouth trying to use the second chance. Now a third chance opportunity as Farley drives inside, but loses the basketball in 6 turnovers now for Monmouth. Why are they having so much trouble against this Kentucky defense, Christy?
Well, Kentucky's elevated their defensive energy and effort. I can tell you that from Monday night, but then there's so much length here. There's no question about it. They've made some wholesale substitutions here. Monmouth has really trying to get some length back in here and see if that can help. Ella Farley is in. She's 6'3". We're going to see if they can finally try to get something going on the interior, but that's just tough going when you talk about just about everybody on the court being 6 foot or taller with an incredible wingspan, a long reach. They're going to make everything difficult, altering everything, not just shots, passes, the ability to see your open player.
Kentucky, the second tallest team in the SEC this year, trailing only South Carolina, the second-ranked team in the country, as Asia Boone gets to the tin for her first basket of the night.
Beautiful give and go there for Kentucky. So much more efficient on offense tonight.
Long two for Davis, still searching for her first points of the evening. Much more fluid-looking Kentucky offense this evening. Asia Boone, straight away three, cans it.
I watched this young lady shoot today and just kept pouring it in. She has such a beautiful shot, the lefty. It's great spin on the ball, great arc.
Corner tray there from Andrews was airballed. Asia Boone, uncharacteristic 1 for 8 from downtown in the home opener on Monday night. Coming over from Liberty, where she was one of the best mid-major shooters in the country. There's Josie Gilvin into the game for the first time tonight. Tiani Cree bullying her way inside and will have a chance for 3.
Well, and you see her body language say, let's go. You can see that it was a great take. I love the decision to get after it and try to get Monmouth to foul, playing through the contact. But here's what I want you to look at with this beautiful give and go on this last out of bounds play for Kentucky. Works to perfection. That starts with Asia Boone setting her player up. You've got to work one direction before coming off of that. It wasn't really a screen, but it's really just trying to get yourself open and get open she got. I mean, that was a beautiful give and go. That's how you execute it. But now listen, here's what I'll tell you. If that's defended, then Clara Strack has the opportunity to then turn, whip right around, and get herself to the rim.
A 5th offensive rebound and 2 more for Kaylin Carroll. Kentucky right now a 19-0 run. Monmouth can't buy a basket. DeBola back into the game as Andrews turns the corner. Off the iron and down to Gilvin.
Well, that shows you there, just Clara Strack did not get a piece of that, but absolutely altered that shot.
Kentucky on a 19-0 run over the last 6 minutes and some change. Asia Boone into the two-man game. Strack punches it out. Gilvin short with the tray. Battle for the basketball. And a foul will go against Kentucky. It'll be the first personal on Josie Gilvin, the Louisville native, transferring over to Kentucky for her final season of collegiate basketball. Her mom, Dana, was a former player for the Louisville Cardinals. Josie Gilvin, though, saying she grew up a Kentucky fan. If you're Monmouth, Christy, how do you get some offense going as we see Andrews step into the three? And there's the answer.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. You're going to have to start knocking down some outside shots because this length for Kentucky, really packing it down into the paint, trying to score anywhere you see blue in that paint is going to be really tough for the Hawks tonight.
Carroll will step into the three. Another second chance created. Gilvin with the bullet pass inside, gets it back. Boone, open for him up top, and has her second of the evening. A career 37% three-point field goal shooter. And it's the 7th turnover in the last 7.5 minutes for Monmouth, shooting themselves in the foot. Strack couldn't get the shot up. Carroll, she'll take it. It looked a little flat.
Nice box out there by Farley.
Monmouth trying to build off of that three the last time down. It's been tough to get a basket here early on, 1 for 12 from the field.
Well, Debula was asking for the ball earlier. She wanted it down on the block. Wanted to take Clara Strack, but her teammates didn't get it to her. I would have liked to see that little matchup.
Shot clock off here at the end of the first quarter. Kentucky dominant so far, a 20-point edge. Asia Boone gets Kentucky into their offense. Gilvin hounded. Down low, Strack throws it up and off the side of the backboard. Kentucky, though, looking much improved. A dominant first quarter to begin tonight's game in Lexington. A 20-point lead for the 24th-ranked Kentucky Wildcats after 1 quarter tonight. And Christy, the offense looked good in that opening quarter, but it was the defense that really put on a show.
They're getting it done on both ends of the floor, but this is what Kenny Brooks wanted out of them, was more effort, more intensity, and more communication. He wanted to see them communicate better on offense, on defense, and play better team defense, and that's exactly what we're seeing. They're getting a hand on it, steals, turnovers, block shots, and that's getting them out in transition and getting some things going. That's what you love, transition buckets, when you're kind of struggling a little bit offensively, but we're really seeing Kentucky be efficient on both ends of the floor.
Kentucky was one of the best defenses in the SEC a year ago, particularly in the interior, where they led the nation in block shots. And Christy, so far through 5 quarters of this season, Kentucky averaging 3 block shots per quarter on the year. Yeah,
and listen, they just broke records that they're trying to break again last season. For single season blocks record they set last year, single season blocks. Clara Strack had 73 as an individual. So, I mean, a lot of things that they were able to get done last year on the defensive end, really making things difficult for a team like Monmouth when you just don't have the size to compete.
Monmouth staring at a big deficit here after a blowout victory in their first game of the year. An 8th turnover there for the Hawks. Christy, if you're Monmouth, you know you don't have the size to go up against Kentucky right now, but maybe what are some creative ways that you can go about finding offense?
Yeah, they're going to have to just start taking shots. I mean, you got to read the defense, and they're going to give you some open looks. You've got to be able to take them. Even if you're not knocking them down, you're not able to get what you want efficiently at the rim by going into the paint. So they're just going to have to take some shots. That's what we're seeing Kentucky do. They've been 2 of 11 before that shot there. So 7 different players had taken 3-point shots. We're going to have to see Monmouth start to do the same thing. They don't necessarily have to be threes, but they do have to start to get some open looks and take those, because this drive here, just like that, that's the shot. Even though it doesn't go, that's the uncontested shot that they're looking for, trying to get.
That was Alexis Andrews. So far, the only field goal of this game, hit a long three. Right now, 1 for 6 from the field. Monmouth had combined 1 for 14, just 7%, as Amelia Hassett lines up another tray. She has been stone cold from downtown to begin this season. Hassett wants another one from the corner. Doesn't get the shooter's roll as Jordan Obie throws it back up for 2 more for Kentucky.
That's what shooters do, though. They just shoot. They have no conscience. And I love Tony Morgan just walked up to Amelia Hassett. Not sure what she said, but I'm thinking my point guard's probably going to tell me, keep shooting. We believe in you. You've got this. But here you see Jordan Obie gets great position, plays through the contact. That's something that we talked about on Monday night, is her physicality. That's what they really were missing last year. I was hoping they could have seen, we could have seen her on the floor last year with that injury. Missed the entire season, but love that physicality.
Triple here from Pereira. Battle for the basketball. Strack comes down with it. Jordan Obie playing with a ton of confidence after returning from injury. She was a 3-time All-Ivy player at Penn before transferring to Kentucky a year ago. Lexi Blue playing with confidence, pulled the 2, missed it. Here's Hassett, and that one skips in.
Well, in Monmouth, trying to score in transition would be a great way for them to get something going offensively, but Kentucky's defense is getting back quickly. That's something they were really focused on. They knew that Monmouth would want some tempo. They just have not been able to really institute that. We talked about with Kate Whitmore, what are some non-negotiables tonight for you? What is something that absolutely has to happen? Got to take care of the ball, got to play up-tempo, get up and down the floor. And we haven't been able to see them do that, and you have to credit Kentucky's defense really taking them out of it.
A step back from Gamble would not go. Still just 1 field goal on the night for Monmouth. Jordan Obie drives inside and fouled once again. Jordan Obie, such a unique player for this Kentucky team. She started tonight at the 2. Right now, she's playing the 4 alongside Tiani Key.
Yes, 1 through 4. You'll see this young lady do it all. When we talk about positionless basketball, she's the definition of that. But that's because she can give you so much. We can put the ball on the floor. She can shoot. She doesn't take a ton of outside shots, but she doesn't care to pull the trigger when it's there. So she's smart enough to know if she needs to take it and shoot it, she will.
15 on opening night for Jordan Obie, already on a quicker pace tonight with 8 here as we work with over 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. Quick trigger, Gamble over Key as Lexi Blue comes down with it. Kentucky still with the basketball. Morgan, Hassett gave up the 3, an unselfish pass, and Lexi Blue pays it off.
Lexi Blue is a young lady that will be out here before practice or shoot around, will stay after practice or shoot around, and will get up a million extra shots. This is a young lady that's really fighting for playing time and really trying to show this team what she's got.
Pereira with the answer. This one was starting to get out of hand.
Well, we're seeing Monmouth do exactly what they need to do, and that's just take open shots.
Blue red hot tonight. Already a career high 9 in the second quarter. She's one of the players that Kenny Brooks wanted to see step up and earn a spot in this rotation. She's doing some yeoman's work early tonight. Working
hard. She's a young lady that just puts the time in and really works hard. But you're always looking for that 6th, that 7th man who can step up and give you some scoring. They're missing 20 points per game from Georgia Amore. They've got to find somebody that can score, but I love this drive and dish, the extra pass to Lexi Blue, and she's feeling it tonight. Look at her there, ready to shoot, hands up, ready to go, feet set, no hesitation.
Blue, a former top 40 recruit in last year's class, had a fairly quiet freshman season. Hoping for a big step forward as a sophomore. Tiani Key got the jersey pulled, no foul called. Kentucky will slow it down. A 32-point edge here with over 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. As Morgan gets inside and will head to the line.
We're seeing Morgan be a little more aggressive tonight, taking the ball to the hole. Here you see playing through some contact. That's what you want out of your point guard, just being smart, knowing when to take it.
And as a reminder in the women's game that arc does not matter any longer. So blocking call gives Morgan a chance from the free throw line, and now Jordan Obi just picks up an unfortunate foul, and that'll be her second of the game. Most likely would put her on the bench. Actually, I beg your pardon, just her first. Obi, Key, and Gilvin each with a personal foul now. Not the start that Monmouth wanted tonight, coming off of a season where they went 16-15 in the first year under Kate Wetmore. A program that's been to the postseason in 2 of the last 3 years, but they've run into a Kentucky-sized buzzsaw here early tonight. Step back for Andrews.
That's a nice play, and that's beautifully executed. That's how you read the defense. They were playing under the screen. They made the switch, but went underneath. Just taking what the defense gives you, and those shots, they'll fall, but that's what you're getting. That's what the defense is giving you. You've got to take it.
He missed the easy one. Davis on the other end, blocked by Obi. A second chance won't go, now a third. And free throws coming for 40 and blue.
That's just battling. Absolutely in the paint and getting after it and battling if you're Davis.
Alexis Davis will be at the free throw line. Saw heavy usage in the opener against Division II Chestnut Hill. Over 40% of the offensive possessions ended in her hands. Christy, I love numbers, and this one blew my mind. 20 points for Davis in that game, 14 rebounds, and she did it all in 19 minutes.
That's, I mean, incredible productivity.
It's a good day at the office.
That's a good day at the office. It's a nice way to get started, too, to open up your season.
She started Buffalo a year ago before transferring to Monmouth as Morgan gets inside for a pair.
What a nice hesitation move. That left hand. It's big time.
Monmouth trying to find their footing in this game as Davis drives. He doing a nice job not fouling. Tony Morgan taking on Gigi Gamble. Boone's had a good start to this game, gives it up for Key. Kentucky will reset. Wildcats 5 for their last 6 from the field, shooting over 50% for the evening, but Key loses it. Campbell, a 20-plus point per game score at the junior college level a year ago, gets downhill, and Key was waiting. Here comes Kentucky. Tony Morgan gives it up. Key from outside the free throw line, nothing but nylon.
Well, that's a good sign for Kentucky because that's a shot that she really just wasn't feeling on Monday night. So, and she's dangerous there. She also can shoot the three, so being able to see her pull up and knock down mid-range jumpers, good news for the Cats.
A career high 11 points per game a season ago in her first with Kentucky. Herrera running the show. Good recovery there from Lexi Blue. 7 on the shot clock. Davis got Key in the air, drives off the glass, no good. The second chance won't go, the third will. And now a foul will put her at the free throw line.
Well, that's 2 trips now that we've seen this young lady just go to work around the rim.
Kentucky off to a great start, and so is Tony Morgan.
Well, this is what you love to see out of a point guard that's trying to figure some things out. Beautiful hesitation all the way for the left hand.
The Kentucky Wildcats had some visitors on campus yesterday. The people from 2K making the trip down to Lexington to capture the likenesses of the Kentucky Wildcats as they prepare for an upcoming college basketball video game. It's always neat seeing some of the opportunities that these athletes are able to get being at a school like Kentucky.
Tell me something cooler than someone coming in and getting your likeness so that you can see your face on 2K. What's cooler than that? Being in a video game.
There isn't
You've
much
arrived.
cooler.
That's when you know you've arrived, when you can be in a video game. I think it's awesome. What a great experience. And to your point, I mean, this is an invaluable experience. They're getting ready to make a trip, big trip for over the Thanksgiving holiday. So many things that these college athletes are able to experience being a part of a program like this. So what a cool thing.
Adam Sandler dropped by practice a couple weeks ago as well while he was in town for a show.
It's incredible. That's what you want.
Kentucky firing on all cylinders right now, up by 34. Christy, what's impressed you with their start?
Well, just that they did exactly what they didn't do against Morehead State on Monday, and that's they've come with tons of energy. They've really locked in. They've been more efficient on offense. They're really communicating on defense.
They've gotten some great performances from Lexi Blue and Asia Boone. Those two right now outscoring Monmouth on their own.
Well, the three-point shooting wasn't great for Kentucky on Monday, and it really hasn't been that great tonight. They're 31%, but that's thanks in large part to those two that you just saw there, Boone and Blue. Perfect from the three-point line.
Swung back for Tony Morgan. Got a step, drove inside, goes down hard to the floor, but quick to get back up.
Fouls on Kathy St. That's her first and the team's fourth.
Well, we've seen her do this a couple of times in this game already. Just a little too aggressive there. And honestly, if you're Monmouth, that's really about all you can do is just try to body her up. Use all your fouls. If you're Monmouth, you got to use every single one of your fouls tonight.
They have not had many answers for this Kentucky offense here in the first half. Clara Strack posting up inside. DeBulla on her, the step back two. As Clara Strack continues her good start to the evening, she has 4 here in the second.
Well, it's just so hard to defend. If you've got that little step back like that with that little fade away, beautiful touch.
Long three from Gamble goes in, and to your point, dare I say that Clara Strack move is almost unguardable.
Oh, yes, yes. I mean, it's so tough to guard, even when you've got a hand in her face. But you don't just show up and have that shot. You work at it. You get after it.
That was a shot that many who used to watch Virginia Tech got used to seeing Liz Kitley do, and Clara Strack has taken it and made it her own.
Here's what we mean. You've got a defender on your back, and then you rotate, you figure out what you want to do with it, where you're going to go, and then you see once that dribble, where does that dribble take you? What does that get you? It may get you going to the rim, or if the defender can recover or it didn't go where you want them to go as the offensive player, then you just knock down that little step back, and they work on it. It's something that Kenny Brooks teaches to his post players. Really invaluable.
Hassett was fouled on the shot. It was on Gigi Gamble, and Hassett converting both free throws. 4 second quarter points for Amelia Hassett after the slow shooting start to the evening. Monmouth trying to get going. Gamble reined in another 3. Davis trying to clean up the mess, throws it up. And Strack comes down with it.
Well, Monmouth with just 4 field goals, 3 of them have been three-pointers. So we're obviously seeing that that's what's open or available to them. So they're going to have to keep taking those shots until they can force Kentucky to come out and guard them a little bit closer. But Kentucky's defense has been good enough in the paint.
Carroll, an ugly 3 there. With just over 2 seconds left on the shot clock, may have had to rush it a little bit.
A little bit.
Probably had more time than she thought.
She replaces Carroll.
So Carroll, the talented freshman, comes out of the game. Lexi Blue back in for Kentucky. Career high 9 points here in the first half.
That's a shot you got to take right there if you're Kersane. You got to be looking to score when you have some daylight.
DeBulla bowling her way inside and draws the foul on Strack. It'll lead to 2 free throw attempts.
Clara Strack. That's her first and the team's fourth.
Kersane passed up a shot, but I like the fact that DeBulla wants to try to go to work on Strack. She had called for the ball and asked for it a couple of times. Her teammates didn't get it to her, so this time I like that she's really trying to get to work.
Kentucky halfway to 100 here, almost. Just over 1:28 to go as DeBulla hits her second free throw. In a breakout sophomore campaign, hoping to carry that over here into her junior season. Toni Morgan guarded by Kathy Kersaint. Pitches it for Hassett, lines up the three and cans it.
I love that Toni Morgan was the player that got it to her, because they had a moment earlier when Toni approached Amelia Hassett, gave her high five, some encouragement after a missed shot. Said, "You're going to knock those down. We believe in you." She's an excellent shooter. You knew the lid wouldn't stay on the basket for Amelia Hassett forever.
Kentucky dominant so far here in the first half. Monmouth's just not had an answer. Andrews inside, spins on Blue, throws it up, and skips it in.
Great move. Just really working on the defense, trying to create.
Kentucky with the big lead, content to just get one good look here. Had a chance to go 2 for 1 if they had wanted to. Clara Strack stopped. Morgan kicks it. Blue looking for her 4th-3. There it is! What a start for Lexi Blue. A chance for one final shot in this first half to forget for Monmouth. Andrews, the long 3, back iron, and Kentucky putting the finishing touches on a dominant first half today in Lexington, Christy.
Well, what a fun half for Lexi Blue to go 4 for 4 from a three-point line when Kentucky was struggling from the three-point line. Lexi Blue with a breakout game.
A career-high 12 for Blue, Kentucky with a 37-point edge at the half. Back in Lexington, where Kentucky staked to a 37-point edge after one. The bench for Kentucky, Christy, really stepping up here in the second game of the season. Yeah,
24 points from the bench, but there you see Kentucky getting it done on defense as well. 5 blocks, 4 steals. Winning points in the paint by a large margin, 20-4, but that's thanks in large part, again, to Kentucky's defense. Monmouth has been in the paint. They have just not been able to get anything going. Only 5 field goals made for them, and 3 of them were three-pointers. So that's exactly what we're going to have to see out of Monmouth, is they're going to have to just take what the defense has given them.
55 points in the first half, the highest scoring half of this still very young Kenny Brooks era. A year ago, 23-8, a second round appearance in the NCAA tournament after hosting for the first time in quite some time. Kentucky off to a good start to the 25-26 season. Monmouth not off to a great start in this game, turned it over, but Key stepped out of bounds. The Hawks keeping possession. Of course, there's still a lot of game left, but if you're Monmouth, how do you go about finding some good looks in the second half?
Well, I think at this point you just want to make sure your team doesn't quit and that you're continuing to really try to be as efficient as you possibly can on offense. Oh, interesting.
The offensive foul there will not help. That's on Devine DeBola, the junior from Canada.
Taking advantage of open looks for Monmouth. That's really all the bottom line, is whatever Kentucky looking for, those small mistakes that they're really not making on the defensive end, and trying to make them pay for it when you can with some jump shots.
And this on the tough J there for Toni Morgan, though. Kentucky gets a second chance. Morgan with 2, and that one into the backcourt. And it'll be a shot clock violation. Kentucky getting a little bit lucky right there. I don't know if that's the right call.
It was interesting, yeah, this...
Looked like possession had been established before that shot clock went off.
Well, and I'll tell you, boy, Monmouth would have loved that, right? I mean, because you would have gotten something going in transition, an easy bucket. Nothing has come easy for them tonight.
So instead, they start with it, 30 seconds on the shot clock here, a fresh possession for the Hawks. Just 5 for 31 from the field in this game. It's been tough to get good shots today, as now a travel goes against Gigi Gamble, a player who's still getting used to more complex defenses, a very talented scorer at the junior college level a season ago, but the defense is just a little bit different here at the Division I level. Still trying to find her flow.
Well, Kate Wetmore talked about Gigi, saying that they're, big expectation, and she wants to learn. She gives so much effort. But really, she can score. She's a player that can score. So, for her, it's a lot of thinking. She's thinking about the system and their offensive sets and a lot of things that you didn't have to do at the junior college level that she's now got to make some adjustments with.
Key was too strong from the corner. Hassett there to clean it up. 11 points in this game for Amelia Hassett, the first Wildcat other than Lexi Blue into double figures tonight. 8 different players for Kentucky have scored over 4 points this evening. Very balanced. Gamble triggered the 3. Bank was not open. Farley unable to track down the long rebound. She was the only starter back on this team from a season ago. Has come off the bench though in the first 2 games this season. Kentucky has their largest lead. They'll add to it here with 2 more from Tony Morgan.
Great take. It's exactly what you want to see out of your point guard, making great decisions.
For Saint, nowhere to go. Monmouth resetting here as they try to put Davis in the pick and roll. They get it to her inside and spins into Clara Strack. That's a jump ball, and it goes to Kentucky.
Little give and go from Tony Morgan and Amelia Hassett, but a great drive. We've seen her be able to get to the rim both Monday night and tonight.
Hassett sways into the 3 and hits. Kentucky with a much improved 3-point attack tonight, 8 for 21 after a sluggish start to the evening.
It's just a boom, boom play. That's exactly, you knew Amelia Hassett was coming to the top of the key, looking to shoot. Only needed a little bit of daylight.
Davis short with the 2, Obi skied for the board. Tiani Key inside off the glass for 2 more. And Kentucky just not being slowed down right now.
You can see that starting to click offensively, some good things happening, especially for Tiani Key. She needed it after a little bit of an off night on Monday, but some things really starting to settle in and click for her.
Chalo had the turnaround 2 for her first basket of the evening. Extra pass. Strack wants a 3 of her own. In and out. That one halfway down. That's the shot that this coaching staff has challenged Clara Strack to shoot more of this year as Davis spins into the best blocker in the SEC.
Just not going to happen when you get down in there, just not going to work. I appreciate the effort by Monmouth, but that's an inside-out kind of move.
Oh, Clara Strack is just working inside. Has the block on one end, shows you the offense on the other. Farley for 3, it goes.
3-point basket by Farley.
Just 6 field goals, now 7 field goals tonight for Monmouth. 4 of them have come from downtown. Tells the story of the length of Kentucky as Strack attempts another one, and this time she hits. 9 for Clara Strack, a timeout on the floor. And Kentucky has 69 midway through the 3rd quarter. An offensive barrage tonight in Lexington. Back in Lexington, and a look at the SEC preseason poll where the Kentucky Wildcats picked 8th here in the 2nd year under Kenny Brooks, behind Ole Miss, behind Vanderbilt. Chrissy, the cream of the crop, though, in this conference continues to be South Carolina. Can they cut down the nets again this year?
Yeah, the rich get richer, right? It seems like they just keep reloading. South Carolina certainly will be expected to be a favorite. No reason why they shouldn't be, but there you got Texas and LSU. Tennessee, interesting, some early season things happening with the Vols already, so will be interesting to see how they can respond to some of those things. But I think, this 8 for Kentucky is a little something I would take as motivation if I'm Kentucky. I mean, I think that's a look at them. A lot of folks saying, hey, you're without Georgia Amore. Can you win without her? Can you beat Kentucky without a player like that? And, they're looking for something to prove. I'm using that as motivation if I'm Kentucky. I'm playing with a chip on my shoulder over it. And, I think it's something that you don't, as a coach, pay a ton of attention to it. You just go out and try to win ball games, right? I mean, you're just trying to make sure you win SEC games, but you get yourself ready in a big way to get that done.
DeBola gets the 2 inside. A year ago, Kentucky finishing ahead of Tennessee, ahead of Ole Miss, ahead of Vanderbilt. Christy, when you look at this team, and yes, it's still early in the year, are they prepared to compete for a double bye once again in the SEC tournament as we see Boone hit her third three of the evening?
Absolutely, I think they are, and I think it's because, you know, with the Kenny Brooks-led team, Kenny knows how to win. And so I think that that's what he teaches, and that's what he instills in a team, is knowing how to win. And you're just going to continue to see this team get better as they learn each other a little bit more. Everyone's in that learning mode. Every coach will tell you that right now we're trying to figure some things out. We're seeing what we've got. We're seeing about rotations and who's going to play well, who's going to step up. Kentucky's no different. You're going to see, you know, who can gain some confidence and do some things.
DeBola inside, blocked out of bounds, and we're going right back out to break here in Lexington. A fast-moving evening. Kentucky's offense on fire. A much better three-point shooting performance, particularly from Asia Boone. She's 3 for 3 from downtown. Quickly approaching, and right now Kentucky feasting on the Monmouth defense from outside.
Well, listen, Asia Boone and Lexi Blue have been such a bright spot for Kentucky from behind the arc. This team was struggling in the first quarter, and then Asia Boone brought them back to life, and now those two have been perfect. 3 for 3 and 4 for 4. They have got such confidence. Now, here's what I'll tell you. Their coach has a ton of confidence in them, but these young ladies both were the last ones to leave the court today shooting. Lexi Blue and Asia Boone, but then when you can get Clara Strack in on it, she's got a beautiful shot, but when you can get her knocking down shots as well, you're cooking with gas if you're Kentucky.
Kentucky was quiet from downtown on opening night, just 17%, but much improved this evening. And Christy, the reason we bring this up is that was a big question mark for Kentucky. You lose Georgia Amore, you lose Deja Lawrence, two players that were close to 50% of the three-point production from a season ago that they had to replace this year. We're seeing some players step into that void.
You have to have it. I mean, that's what you're looking for, is you're trying to replace with Georgia alone 20 points per game, and you're looking for somebody that's willing to have that has the confidence to step up and take those shots even when they're not falling. You've got to continue to take them. You got to keep a defense honest.
Kentucky was 74 points in this game. Still plenty of time to go in this game. Key spins inside, throws it up, and we'll head to the free throw line. That'll be the fourth personal foul on Davine DeBola, the junior out of Canada, who's just never been able to get going in this contest this evening.
You see her kind of just throw her hands up like, I'm not sure what to do there. What else do you want from me? I don't know.
You have to be impressed with how Tiani Key has responded to that opening night, where she really had an uncharacteristically slow game. And I thought it was interesting when we talked to Kenny Brooks earlier today, Christy, he talked about that for her, we don't want opposing teams to know if she scored 3 or 30, meaning they want her demeanor to be the same out on the court, regardless of if she's scoring the rock.
Well, your body language can be very telling. If you're struggling and your shoulders are sagging, you read it on your face, and you know that there's the struggle there. You have to have a poker face. You can't let your body language affect the rest of your game. So that's really something he's challenged her to do. Pay attention to it, fix it, and don't let your body language affect how you play. You've got to be able to make sure that you stay up. We're seeing her do that. She's encouraging teammates tonight.
And I think that's an important element of this as well, because the one thing that doesn't get talked about enough was how much leadership this team lost from a year ago. Yes, Georgia Amore and Deja Lawrence were incredibly talented scorers, but they were fantastic leaders for this team, and now players like Key and Hassett and Strack have to step into that leadership role for this team.
It's one thing to lead on the court by the way you play and how you play. It's a whole nother thing to lead as a vocal leader, and not everyone is comfortable with that. Not everyone knows how to do that or feels like they could or should do that, but that's really ultimately what you're looking for, is somebody that's going to step into both of those things. Like, let me be the one, put the ball in my hands. I want the ball when it matters the most, but then also be able to be vocal enough to put other people in that position as well too.
Carroll could not hit the three. Coming the other way is Kersaint. Great pass right there, and the finish in transition from Fatoumata Jallo. He was playing for Ole Miss last year, went to a Sweet 16.
That's a great trip for Monmouth to be able to score in transition. Easy bucket. That's the easiest shot they've had all night.
Tiani Key just turned the corner and found plenty of open real estate.
She's got handles for a big.
She's got 12 tonight. Alexis Andrews going to work on Lexi Blue in the midst of a career evening. Farley off the mark for 3. Offensive rebound, though, by Jallo. And now Boone picking up a second foul in the last couple of minutes. Great decisions right here from the point guard, Kersaint.
Heads up, eyes up. Nice job by Kersaint to run the floor. Easiest bucket that Monmouth's had all night long. That's what, I mentioned that earlier in the first half when we're really looking and searching and trying to find some offense. Where do you get it? It's knocking down some outside shots when you get some daylight, but also if you could score in transition. But Kentucky kept them from doing that. They were never able to get anything going where they could run.
That was a major point of emphasis in practice earlier today for Kentucky as Andrews hits the 3. There's been a bright spot tonight with 8.
Well, I think you're starting to see Monmouth really settle in, and it's taken an entire half for them to get there. But this is that transition from playing a Division II team in Game 1 to playing a high-level SEC team in Division I now. So that's tough. I mean, that was a blowout win for them in their first game. So, their coach talked to them about that and warned against that, understanding that you're going to have to play at a very high level. And I think it has taken a full half of basketball for them to finally get there, because I think we are starting to see them really up their game on both ends of the floor.
Obi could not finish the teardrop. The only starter on the floor right now for Kentucky. Jallo inside, kick out. Farley got her feet behind the 3-point arc. Battle for the basketball. Monmouth comes down with it, and now a foul inside. And back to the point you were making a moment ago, I think part of the discrepancy in the first 2 opponents for Monmouth this year, that first game, she wanted to breed some confidence for this team, a new look roster, 10 new players for Monmouth. And then now you go up against a really good team, you're going to get some film that now you can work with to help grow as your season progresses.
Got to be tested. I mean, this is a situation where in their first game they weren't, but that's okay. I like her thought process behind all of that is, let me get my new team together as we're figuring some things out, gaining some confidence, really scoring a lot of points, doing it a lot of different ways, a lot of different players getting involved in the offense, to now us really testing ourselves. This is very different than where we were in our opening game. So what are you going to do, and how are you going to respond? Can you be tough? Do you have what it takes to be able to raise and elevate your level of play? So I love that challenge that she's giving her team here. Is like, hey, we're challenging to come out and really bring it together in that first game, figure out who we are. But then in this one, you're really being tested. And what do you have? What are you made of here?
Not only 10 new players, but a lot of different cultures to meld together this season for Monmouth. A total of 4 countries represented, 8 international players on this roster. And one of the great things of our conversation earlier today, Christy, with Kate Wetmore, she told us about Coffee with Kate, where she'll invite 3 or 4 of these young women over to her house for just a conversation about life, and they have some breakfast, they drink some coffee, and talk about everything other than basketball.
I love it. I think that's fantastic to do, because there is so much that these young women have outside of basketball, though this is such a huge part of who they are. But I think that's great. I mean, she's getting to know them as people. She's showing them that she cares in that situation. She said, listen, something that surprised her was their chemistry, that they've had really good chemistry on and off the court. And some of that is very organic. It just naturally happens. But then some of it, you really have to have some of those things where you're working on team building events and team things, but getting to know each other can go a long way outside of basketball.
Scrum on the floor right there. Jump ball's going to keep it, though, with Monmouth.
They also went to the beach. She said they had a nice little a mile from the beach?
I
think she said, why wouldn't you take advantage of that, right? So they went to the beach and played some games and did some things there. So I just love this idea of really working to learn each other in a different way outside of just being basketball players.
Trailing big, though, here in Lexington. Under 10 on the shot clock. Jallo gave it up. Amaro working on Blue. Step back 2. And Farley's been all over the offensive glass, but could not corral that one. Now Morgan, a step on the defense. Blue, hot all night from downtown, and her career night continues.
No way.
5 for 5 for Lexi Blue. And Kentucky over the 80-point mark. It's 1974, over a 93% winning percentage when they eclipse the 80-point mark. Here's Andrews trying to quiet the crowd and will for a moment. Double figures for Alexis Andrews, the Charlotte transfer.
Well, that'll be what Kenny Brooks wants more of from Lexi Blue is better defense. You know, she got beat there. Great that you can come down here and knock down three-point shots and hit shots like
Blue
that.
again! Oh my! 6 for 6 for Lexi Blue. And Kentucky is pouring it on here in the Commonwealth.
Lexi Blue with a coming out party tonight. This young lady with loads of confidence, ready to pull the trigger and knocking it down. Lexi Blue.
Clara Strack, the Buffalo native, proving the chicken wings aren't the best part of living in Buffalo. Her and Amelia Hassett had a chance to go to Buffalo Bills training camp earlier this year, had a chance to meet a couple of former Wildcats, including Ray Davis, positioned on the right side of the screen. Strack, a lifelong Buffalo Bills fan, living out a dream earlier this summer, and she'll get to live out another dream this coming weekend, or this weekend rather, where they will go back to her hometown. They're going to face Buffalo in a game against a MAC school that will serve as a homecoming for one Clara Strack.
Well, it's a beautiful thing that this is what Kenny Brooks wants to try to do, is get his players back home as best he can. I think it's a great game. It's a beautiful setup. Love that picture of Amelia Hassett and Clara Strack with Deion Walker and Ray Davis, two Wildcats that are now making it happen up there at Buffalo. So, yeah, just a fun thing for those two to be able to go back, but even more fun to go back home, play in front of the home crowd, sign autographs. They're going to do all kinds of things, have some events planned throughout the day. So what a great opportunity, not just for Clara Strack, though. I mean, for this entire team to go to Buffalo, New York, and be able to play some ball. I think it's great.
If you're in the Buffalo area this weekend, make sure to check out a full list of events. Kentucky basketball, women's basketball is going to be putting that out in the days ahead as they get set for that homecoming for Clara Strack.
We may wonder how much more we'll see of Clara Strack. I think after she had a three-point shot, she turned and looked at the bench and needed to come out. Now we see her on the bench with that thigh, that right thigh wrapped up a little bit. So maybe some cramping, and might take it easy here in this fourth quarter.
Gabby Brooks making her first appearance of the season into the game with the Wildcats with this 50-point edge. Two starters, Obi and Key, on the floor for Kentucky.
It's just a perfect opportunity for Kentucky to be able to work on a lot of different things, different looks, getting players some minutes.
14 points tonight for Key. A nice response, 6 for 8 from the field after the slow evening on Monday. Farley with the blow-by off the glass for 2.
Love, we've seen her really insert herself into this offense, trying to make some things happen for the Hawks.
Kentucky just a dominant showing on offense tonight, close to 60% from the field at the moment. They'll draw a foul here.
Tiani Key does such a nice job of putting the ball on the floor. She's got great handles. We've seen her take it from inline to inline in a game before, but I love what Farley's doing here, just really trying to insert herself in the offense and make something happen. They couldn't get anything going in the first half. The senior really getting after it.
She was a starter a year ago, though has come off the bench in the first 2 games this season. Maybe earning a bigger role with her performance tonight against the 24th ranked team in the country. And a foul there. Again on Amaro. 2 quick fouls in the last 2 possessions. This game has moved along very nicely tonight, slowing down though a little bit as we can begin the fourth quarter. Asia Boone inbounding the basketball directly to Tiani Key in the post. Key facing up, spins inside. The turnaround J will not go. Jallo, a full head of steam, it goes. Monmouth credit still fighting here despite the big deficit.
And just gaining some confidence. You see that confidence really building for them. We saw it some in the third quarter, but just able to take advantage there. Got a step on Lexi Blue. We're seeing some real fight in the Monmouth Hawks.
Matajalo at the free throw line. Missed the free throw. Asia Boone lost the basketball. Here comes Kersaint. Some great wheels and a nice finish at the rim despite Obi coming on strong.
Well, probably the first time tonight we've seen Monmouth put together back-to-back baskets. Some points off turnover. Good things happening for Monmouth.
Here's Lexi Blue. What a night she's had so far this evening. 6 for 6 from downtown. She's open again. Can she find perfection?
Oh.
Misses on her 7th attempt of the evening.
The lid would have come off this place.
Is looking for lucky number 7. A career high of 18 to lead all scorers this evening. It was just her 2nd miss from the field on the night.
You see Kentucky working some zone here.
Here's Andrews, penetrates, kicks, the 3 on the way for Pereira. Short, Boone with it, lost it though last touch they say by Monmouth. And I think what makes that Lexi Blue performance so important for this Kentucky team is Kenny Brooks told us that her and Josie Gilvin, Asia Boone, Caitlin Carroll still trying to establish themselves as who's going to step into what roles off that bench right now. You most likely know the starters going forward, but Lexi Blue is earning herself some PT tonight with a performance like this.
You've got to work hard. We know that those ladies all check that box and are absolutely doing that, but then when you've got your moment and you can shine, you've got to make it work. You've got to show that you should be and you deserve to be out on the floor when the big moments matter.
Trying to work it inside to Jordan Obi. Oh, a great spin, though, blocked from behind. And I'd have to see a look because I'm not sure I agree with the foul call.
I felt like Farley had a good look at it. Nice block. Let's take a look here and see.
Entering for the Wildcats, number 20, Caitlin Carroll. She replaces Lexi
Maybe body contact?
No, looked pretty clean to me. They've gotten a little whistle happy in this 4th quarter. That's a good block.
Will be in the line for
If I'm
2.
Farley, I'm wanting the block right there.
Yeah.
Pad my stats a little bit.
That's a good block.
Farley 5 points, 5 rebounds this evening. As Jordan Obi hits the first free throw. Jordan Obi turning in another strong performance. 9 points tonight after 15 points in the opener. Was hot early on when Kentucky needed offense. There's Gabby Brooks, the daughter of head coach Kenny Brooks. Swung for Kersaint. 3 swirls around. Obi grabs it. Look at the pace right now for Kentucky. They get an open look. It's Hassett, and she'll knock it down.
Hassett.
You can see this team starting to gel together. That was the 9th assist of the night for Toni Morgan.
Really good stuff in terms of Toni Morgan making herself available for the ball from Jordan Obi in a very quick way. Getting the ball up the floor. Really good stuff from start to finish. That's that executing that fast break, a secondary break.
Farley had nowhere to go. Punched back out for Andrews. Morgan pushed it out. Battle inside. Carroll has it. Kentucky came into this game still searching for what their identity as a team was going to be this year. I think we've gotten a picture of what it may be as Morgan comes up short on the 3. Kept in play there by Farley. I think the Kentucky bench thought that one might have gone out of bounds.
Well, they're all standing right on top of it. They're laughing. It was out of bounds. How can you not see that?
Starting to feel a little bit more like a pickup game here in the 4th quarter.
Well, this is where both teams are definitely just working on improvement for the next game. What do you have to do for the next one? What do we need to be working on? What are we focusing on? Really giving yourself what you need. The decision is made, the game's in hand, but both teams need to benefit from this. So take a look at this we were talking about earlier. Beautiful board by Jordan Obi, but I love how available Toni Morgan makes herself, and then great spacing. as we see Amelia Hassett go deep into the corner, the grins all around, high fives all around. Just perfect execution trying to run a break.
And now a discussion about that ball that had gone out of bounds. There was an initial call made by Karen Prato. Then she changed her call. And now I believe Kenny Brooks and the staff have asked for an appeal here to take a look to see if this ball was out off of Kentucky or not. And that will trigger the media break here in the fourth quarter. Kentucky up big here in their second game of the year, just 10 points shy of a hundo. Back in Lexington, where Kentucky losing their first appeal of the season, a new rule instituted in college basketball this year. They restricted the amount of times that officials could just go to the monitor themselves. The coaches have to ask for an appeal. You have to call the timeout to use that appeal, and if the appeal is unsuccessful, you would then lose that timeout, whereas if it had been a successful appeal, Kentucky would have kept that timeout, but they lose it. Just now 3 timeouts remaining with 5 1/4 left in the fourth.
Well, and it seems like Kenny Brooks is asking for some clarification as well, too, to kind of see what's going on, as they are all really working through this for the first time to see what's going on. Just asking for some explanation, make sure he's on the same page. I mean, you know, this is really, you might as well try it out. I mean, I know we're thinking 50 points, why would you try, but you have to work through these things.
Kentucky's charged with a timeout, 30-second timeout.
So as was just announced here inside historic Memorial Coliseum, Kentucky was charged with the timeout. One interesting nuance to that rule, Christy, at the end of a game, you can actually appeal a play without a timeout. If you were to then lose that appeal, it would be a technical foul and 2 free throws. So we'll see if that comes into effect throughout the remainder of this season. I'm sure it will at some point.
I love it. I mean, I love this idea that we're really trying to limit the amount of times we're going to the monitor. We give the coaches the ability to flex as far as that goes. I love that, so I think that's great. And the hope is really just trying to limit the number of times that you go to the monitor to see if, you know, some of this is the officials are going to make calls. They will make some mistakes, but you have to really just be able to get into the flow of the game, and we've all seen how disruptive that can be. Nobody likes that, so how do you limit it? I think this will go a long way in doing that.
Driving inside is Andrews. Basketball batted around. There's Farley again. Pereira lost it. Kersate comes up with it. Shot clock was not reset. Jallo inside gets the 2 to go, and just to put a button on that appeal conversation, what we just saw, the out of bounds, probably the most likely. They can also appeal whether or not there was a backcourt violation, and then whether free throws shall be awarded when a foul is committed in close proximity to the rim. So you do have the ability to appeal, but it is a very select amount of plays.
Which I think is good too. I mean, it's like, you know, there are things in college football that you can't appeal, right, or you can't challenge. So I think that all of that really shapes up to be how we clean up the game, get it moving. We don't want it to be so disruptive that, you know, we get frustrated watching or playing. So I think it's all, we'll see. I mean, the jury's out, right? I mean, we're just getting started with this thing, but I like the effort to try to make it better.
Pereira will keep it with Monmouth. And if you're wondering, plays like a clock mistake or a shot clock that gets reset, those are still plays that the officials can go look at the video review monitor. These are just a few very select instances that coaches have the ability to ask for something to be looked at.
That's right, yeah. And, you know, again, all aimed at trying to make the flow of the game better. You know, and if it doesn't, and that isn't where we are, and that doesn't work, then, you know, it can be looked at again and revised.
Kentucky up big here in the fourth quarter. They will improve to 2-0 on the season. Second straight year that Kentucky has gone 2-0 under Kenny Brooks. Carroll, wide open. Brooks for 3. Oh, yeah! And look at the bench. Gabby Brooks, one of the most liked players on this team, gets an opportunity here in mop-up time and takes advantage with the 3.
I love that Dad stays stone-faced. He stays stone cold.
Would you expect anything else?
No, absolutely not, but I love it.
Kentucky just 7 points shy of 100. They have not gone over the century mark since all the way back in 2017 against Evansville on December 5th. Could be in jeopardy tonight. Boone inside. Brooks again. Oh, yeah!
Same spot, same result. Kentucky has heated up in the second half from 3-point, 15 of 32. My goodness.
Brooks came in with 3 career points. She's got 6 here in the last few moments.
Got her looking comfortable in that corner. Beautiful follow through, ready to go, ready to shoot. It's a great kick out here by Asia Boone.
And I did see Dad, head coach Kenny Brooks, crack a smile after that last 3.
Good stuff.
Enjoying watching his baby girl play out on this court. Here's Andrews trying to answer. Kerr-Saint comes down with it. Andrews goes to the floor. It'll be a jump ball. It will stay with the Hawks. Christy, we already touched on the upcoming schedule for Kentucky. What are some things that you can take from tonight's performance into a game against Buffalo, USC Upstate next week? Then you've got Marshall and Purdue looming.
Well, this is exactly what Kenny Brooks wanted, was to see more effort, was to see more organization, more communication, more efficiency on offense, more team offense and team defense. This just shows you that he's right when this is what he asked for and he needs it to see out of this team. A good result happened. So, just really, he was very disappointed in the team's effort. He called it lackluster, a lackluster performance. Even though it's a 16-point win, it wasn't up to their standards and where they needed it to be. They have absolutely turned the page on that. So I think that's really good. They're showing you that they're coachable, they're listening, they're really trying to give great effort and fix those fixables. So, I love that. I think it's a step in the right direction for sure. Now you love the fact that you're going to go on the road, so now this is a whole nother test. This isn't just right around the corner. This is going all the way up to Buffalo, New York. A big trip, a lot of things going on, a lot of things happening, so some distractions. How can you handle that?
Kentucky now with 16 threes on the evening as Kaylin Carroll gets involved in the action. The Cats 16 for 33 tonight. A far cry from the 4 for 24 performance that they had on Monday.
Yes. I think they were just anxious on Monday. I don't even think it was about nerves as much as it was just being anxious and wanting to play well, really trying to get after it, really wanting some good things to happen. When you're that anxious and you're really kind of pressing, then sometimes it's very difficult to settle in. That is a very real thing, just settling into the flow of the game. We never really saw them do that on Monday.
And a foul there as Carroll was trying to battle through. It'll be on Ella Farley. 4th foul on Monmouth, so Kentucky still not in the bonus, needing though just 1 point to go over the century mark. Be the first time since the 2017 season that the Cats have done that. Kenny Brooks has talked a lot about playing an entertaining style of basketball here in Lexington. And nights like tonight are putting that on full display. Boone open for the corner 3. Too strong. Gilvin tracks it down. Kentucky with a second chance to go over the 100-point mark. Boone's got it. Carroll now, 5 on the shot clock. Boone, the logo 3 for 100. Comes up short as Andrews grabs the rebound. Kentucky still fighting hard as we get set to go under a minute remaining in this game. Tough drive inside,
nice.
It'll go for Gamble. And a nice consolation prize for Monmouth at the end of a very difficult evening here in Lexington.
Gigi just getting after it here. Gigi Gamble showing you she's got no quit too, a prolific scorer in the junior college ranks. Love seeing her be able to come in and keep after it. No quit. Still playing hard.
Kentucky with a 3rd chance to go over the century mark. Gilvin fouled, and that will put the Cats at the free throw line.
No pressure to get that 100 mark at the foul line.
Josie Gilvin stepping to the free throw line here tonight for Kentucky. The second team All-Conference USA player a season ago at Western Kentucky. Had a lifelong dream of playing for the Kentucky Wildcats, and she has just given Kentucky 100 points in a game for the first time since 2017.
That's delivering. You got to give the people what they want.
$101 tonight, and the celebration about to commence here in Lexington. An impressive victory for Kentucky as they start to lay the early foundation for a season that they hope is one to remember. Boone drives into the teeth of the defense, back out for Lexi Blue. Boone gets it back in the corner and hits it. 17 threes tonight, just one off the program record. 14 for Boone. Kentucky's hit 5 threes in the fourth quarter.
Just unconscious. We talked Monday night about the fact that this team can shoot.
And that will count.
There you go.
A 3 for Andrews at the buzzer gives her 15. But a dominant 55-point win tonight for Kentucky here at home.
They fixed a lot of things. There's no question about that. Kentucky really getting it going and really starting to understand what they've got to do. They got to play at a high level, how that's going to look. What that looks like is great effort on the defensive end. It looks like efficiency on the offensive end. We started to see them really play some great team defense and really started to turn things around on offense and shooting lights out. My goodness, it got started though with two folks that have really, between Asia Boone and Lexi Blue, you're really looking for and searching for somebody to step up who can have a breakout kind of game, and that's exactly what we saw from those two young ladies tonight.
We have been told that Lexi Blue will join us courtside here momentarily after her career performance today. Blue with 18 points, 6 of 7 from downtown. An incredible performance for a sophomore trying to make a name for herself in her second year in Lexington. Lexi Blue now joining us courtside here at historic Memorial Coliseum. Lexi, this is a team that just made 4 threes on Monday night. Tonight, though, one off the program record. What was going right for you guys tonight?
I think just confidence in each other and just believing that we can knock down those shots, and we know we were better than the game we played, and we came out here and showed that tonight.
You're a young lady who spends an awful lot of time in the gym putting up some extra shots. We saw you at shoot around today, one of the last to leave. So what does that feel like for you when you start to see this real, you know you've got this in you, right? So what does that feel like for you as you start to really knock those shots down? I mean, you were perfect for a second there. I was thinking we're going to go perfect tonight. That was good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's just my teammates, my coaches. They pour into me every single day, and I was able to knock down shots, and that's the beauty of this team is that anyone can get hot, and I'm glad that my teammates are finding me.
Lexi, a year ago, there wasn't a ton of depth on this team. This year, a much deeper bench and a lot of players who can step up. You're one of those players. How much better is this team in terms of quality of players coming off the bench this year?
Yeah, I think just believing in each other, that's our main thing, and we have a lot of people that can step up and hit shots and just do great things on the floor, and Coach Brooks instills that confidence in all of us to just go out there and play our game, and that's our main thing, was just being confident today.
Monday night against Moorhead, I think we really saw you guys come out a little lackluster, to use one of Coach's words. You didn't have great effort and energy. What did you guys talk about going into this game to make sure you didn't do that a second time?
Fixing it.
Yeah.
Effort and energy, that's the main thing. Fix it. We didn't want that to be our identity. We wanted it to be something different, and that was playing hard today, and that was our main goal, and that was our main focus in the practices leading up.
Yeah.
Well, Lexi, appreciate it. We will let you go enjoy this with your team, but congrats on the W.
Thank you guys.
Kentucky out on top tonight here in Lexington, 104-46, the final score here inside historic Memorial Coliseum. The Cats 2-0 once again. A barrage from downtown this evening. Kentucky gets it done. So for Christy Thomas, our producer Daniel Gibbons, the rest of our crew worked so hard tonight. I'm Noah Frary saying so long from Lexington. This has been a presentation of SEC Women's Basketball on the SEC Network.